Favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Neil and second by Brenda, all in favor? Next we have approved treasurer's budget transfers as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Darren, second by Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have approved treasurer's monthly settlement.
Motion.
Motion by Brenda.
Second.
Second by Jason, all in favor?
Aye.
Next we have approved treasurer's quarterly settlement.
Motion.
Motion by Darren,
Second.
second by Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have approved the treasurer's annual settlement, 7/1/22 to 6/30/23.
Motion.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Darren, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, I need a motion to approve the Grayson County Fiscal Court's revised administrative code and revised personnel policy.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Neil, second by Jason, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next I need a motion to accept Grayson County Fiscal Court audit for year ending in June 2022. You got anything on the audit?
There was no audit comments, so.
Nothing?
just
didn't see
put
them.
No comments.
It's good. I'll make a
Motion.
motion.
Motion by Darren,
Second.
second by Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to approve the magistrate's incentive payments.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Neil,
Second.
second by Darren, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we need to approve the Lincoln Trail Hazard and Flood Mitigation Plan update. Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Darren and second by Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have to approve the jailer's payment of bills.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have to approve the sheriff's monthly settlement.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Neil, second by Brenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have approved the sheriff's 2023 second quarter budget.
Motion.
Motion by Darren,
Second.
second by Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have to approve the sheriff's 2022 county tax settlement.
Motion.
Motion by Darren, second by Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a motion, need a motion to approve the sheriff's 2022 state tax settlement.
Motion.
Motion by Jason,
Second.
second by Neil, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have to approve the sheriff's request to sell surplus and unclaimed property. Norman, you,
Yeah, all it is that we had, we worked a burglary several years ago. We put an ad in the paper to people come pick up their stuff. We have a bunch of fishing poles, we've got some batteries, we've got some boating stuff, life jackets, we've got Christmas stuff that was up in there that we're putting on Gov Deals. And it's, I mean, some of it's junk. The fishing stuff is pretty nice, but some of it's junk that we're just trying to clear up the upstairs at the old office. And let's see.
Identify each right now.
That's really the only unclaimed property that we have to sell. Everything else is just stuff that we have upstairs. It doesn't have serial number on it or anything like that.
Make a motion.
motion by Darren,
Second.
second by Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have update from fiscal court committees, the building committee.
Talked to the road supervisor today about the roads, and we had a lot of debris still yet out there to pick up. People just need to be patient, they're picking it up as fast as they can. There's just a lot of it from the storms.
Yeah, they're chip and sealing too. Of course, the weather's not cooperating real well.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty heated voicemail yesterday. Was it yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Darren went and checked it out, and I think it's resolved as best can be. It wasn't quite that.
It was nothing, somebody's having a bad day, I guess, just wanted to take it out on us,
On Marianne and myself.
on Marianne, and it was totally uncalled for. It was nothing. I went out and looked at it, it was absolutely nothing. And for somebody to talk to both of them that way is just rather pathetic, to be honest with you.
I'm used to it this day. So, on the building committees, what's going on?
We got the block laid, they're backfilling, should have the plumbers in next week, so we can try to get the slab forward just as soon as possible.
That's with the,
That's with the new clerk's office and PVA office.
okay, yeah, thing looks like it's going pretty smooth, so. Then Parks and Rec, I think that we've done some stuff down at Logston Valley but during the concert to, put in the handicap, seating area, which we'll probably look at some more upgrades too, if you all can think of anything too that we need to be doing. So, of course, we didn't get to meet normally before we do to talk about these committees, so that's why I wanted to address them in the meeting here, so. Next we have, new business. Norman, new business.
No, we didn't get any comments on our tax settlements either, so we were good on that. $14 for the good.
Okay. Good, Jason.
Nothing.
Ben,
No.
No, sir.
anything?
Nope, sir.
Jeremy, nothing, okay. Old business, I've got, the ambulance, approval on the purchases. I got with the director and they requested us to go ahead and approve. They went and looked at both units and they wanted to approve the 2 ambulances from Penn Care Incorporated. That was for the purchase price of $258,000. And it's gonna be a 24-month delivery time. So it'll be 2 years.
Kevin, they locking that price in?
Yes,
Okay.
Except for the chassis.
except for the chassis,
Chassis, okay.
which is if Ford decides to upgrade,
It'll be cash.
it could be, possibly be more, so. But as far as the work, as far as the unit in the back, that's what it'll be, but I mean, they
What do we
don't,
do?
Yeah.
that you don't know what Ford's gonna do in, you know, when they receive, you know, the chassis. I mean, it's, but, I mean, you could roll the dice and wait and it go down, but I don't know.
It ain't gonna go down.
So
I just wonder if they're gonna lock it in, that's just what I was wondering.
it will be, everything's locked in but the chassis.
Yeah, but that was the same with both companies. They
Okay.
were, neither one was gonna
Okay.
lock down the chassis.
Yeah, neither company will lock the chassis down because that's the problem with the delivery is, they can't get them. They can't get the chassis. So. Anyway,
Motion.
have y'all discussed it or anything or nothing? I mean, we heard it whenever we opened the bids up and, that's what they recommend to do. So I'd entertain a motion, to go ahead and purchase these with a 24-month delivery date for $258,000.
Make a motion.
Motion by Darren,
Second.
second by Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And also, we need to approve to pay for the stretchers in August because that could also be a price increase, which is a total of $44,563.80. And that's those mechanical stretchers that they use for the back of the units. And,
How many of that was there? 2 of them?
there's 2 of them, yeah. And the reason for them is because of,
The price increase in August, so as long as they
Yeah.
get ordered by August and we pay for them about that time, then we won't get an increase, but that price is built into the $258,000.
Right.
So it'll be 90-something thousand.
it'd be $89,127.60, but that is in the 258.
That's what I thought. I was wondering, I thought those was included with the ambulance.
They are,
Absolutely.
but we don't have to pay for the actual ambulances until their delivery date. So.
Okay.
For the
Which would be-
stretchers, we do in order to get those locked in.
Yeah, because they just put in there that there'll be a price increase August
After August 31st.
31st. So, I mean,
How much they going up?
They didn't tell us
They
how
didn't
much,
tell
they
us.
just said it will be.
It'll be plenty.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
could be $2, could be $2,000,
That's right.
could be $10,000.
I'll make a motion, Kevin.
All right. Motion by Neil and second by Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. I think that's it. Next, any old business from anybody?
No.
Anything going on? Nothing? There is something that I want to address. One is, you all are well aware of the complaints we have received from Wooldridge Street. And I think you all have got quite a few letters, or maybe a couple letters from the residents up there, which I think are the Carters, that you all have received letters from. And of course, I've received quite a few letters and emails, voicemails, and also received one early this morning, early in the early morning hours, because it was left on the office phone. But just to tell you what's going on, there's been some issues with the trash and garbage up there at their actual neighbor's residence. And this has gone on for quite some time. And I don't know all the details to it because it's went through different agencies, but I followed up and went to the health department and talked to Jerry Brackett personally. And he's went up and opened another case on that particular project up there, and it has recently, within the past couple days, been sent to the county attorney's office. And Jeremy, could you tell us what the process is now, so that way if they get a call, they'll know what to say?
I mean, sometimes the sheriff responds to these situations. A lot of times it goes through the environmental services at the health department. They have an investigator, Jerry Brackett. He goes out there. He'll bring the materials he has with his opinion. And then, so I've got that, and I don't see any reason that we shouldn't be able to take action with it in court. We've done this location before through court. Perhaps not to the satisfaction of these people that are calling in again, but we're revisiting it, and so we'll move forward on it.
There's nothing we can do. It's out, I mean, I don't understand why they keep contacting me or us for when they're really,
Well, there's actually, the charge would be, if Jeremy, if you explain to the court what the actual charge would be, because there's no ordinance as far as telling someone that they can't have junk basically on their property. So that would be like tractors, cars, lawnmowers, swings, chairs, whatever it is, you name it. There's a lot of different places that has that, and quite honestly, I have a problem with telling someone that what they can have on their property. I understand that, you don't want to pass, trash every day, and I wouldn't want to either. I mean, but I think this is in particular, is it trash, Jeremy, from my understanding?
Yeah, I believe so. There's a difference between junk and
Bag garbage.
bag garbage, rat harborage,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we've done multiple trips out there. I personally drove out there many times. Every time I go through Big Clifty, I stop and I go through the bank drive-through, give them a thumbs up, and then I go down Wooldridge Street, and I always look at that property. The times that I've been out there, I have not seen bagged garbage. Now, I have seen some garbage that, like bottles or something like that, and they may be, I don't walk up on their back porch. The house is, it's an eyesore, don't get me wrong. The roof is caving in. I personally don't see how somebody lives in that house, but they do. And in the back porch is caved in. There's all kinds of junk in there, but as far as bagged garbage, I can't see any from the road. I can't see any in the front yard. Everything's moved up right next to the road, probably in the right of way, but it's out of the road. Cars can pass through, so we don't, if we started moving cars that were within the right of way of the road, that's all we'd be doing. So we do there, we gotta do it for every other car that's in the right of way. But anyway, the bagged garbage, but it's been a couple of weeks since I've been out there. A lot of times what people will do is I'll go out there and tell them, and then they'll get rid of the garbage, and then I'll go out there and check it. The garbage is gone, but then time goes by, they start piling the garbage up again, which may be the case this time, so I don't know.
Well, like I said, I've dealt with this for a couple months now with Jerry down at the health. I think it was probably a couple months when I called him. Now, I haven't mentioned it to any of you all because I sort of wanted him to do an unbiased, unbiased report, I guess you would say, so. And, so he did, and I think there is some issues that he has noticed, and I think that's why he actually sent it to Jeremy. And so, and of course, from my understanding, I mean, I've got numerous letters and voicemails and emails and you name it from them. And I think there's litigation right now with them, correct?
Yeah. So
So there's some litigation with them, litigation with possibly the sheriff's office, and then I've been informed that there would be litigation with me later on in the future. And so, but regardless of that, I mean, if there's an issue, I think that we need to try to look into it and make sure that we do our due diligence and make sure we can do everything that we can do for them. It might not be the correct thing or what proper thing that they think that we need to do, but I'm still gonna follow through, even if someone's going to sue me or file federal litigation against me. So anyway,
we
I
can be
wanted-
sued and still do our job, because
That-
that's why we're here. It doesn't matter.
that is correct.
You know, anybody has a right to sue anybody for different things, doesn't mean it's gonna be legitimized, but we still do our basic jobs, so.
Right, so I just wanted to bring that before you all because there were some issues that on some of the emails that I had received that I wasn't telling you all information, and you all know as well as I do, I've told you
Yes.
everything that goes on with that situation. So, and so that's where we're at with that. So, hopefully hopefully in the near future, there'll be a resolve to it and they can get with the neighbors at that address and see what can be resolved. So, if anything can be done. All right, moving on. I feel like that I need to address you all and let you know, which most of you all already know, that there has been an instance come up with the property for the new farmer's market. And I wanted to, most of y'all know this, but I am letting basically the general public know and what actually transpired, and I want to be as transparent as I possibly can, and which will be completely transparent. For a couple years, we've been talked to by different individuals about possibly building a farmer's market. A size has never been mentioned or anything to that effect, but we've looked for different locations to build it. We wanted to be on the main drag where people could actually use it. And what I mean by main drag is the 62 area, 259 area, somewhere would be a good location to get in and out, for people to get in and out of. I had spoke with Elsa at Litchfield Tourism, and I had envisioned possibly building a larger facility for the farmer's market, which could be a multi-use facility for the farmer's market, for one, which would take precedent over using the actual facility on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But the Litchfield Utilities could also utilize the facility, Litchfield Tourism could utilize the facility for,
Events.
they've got one that they bring in a portable ice skating rink like in Owensboro and Bowling Green at theirs, and it's sort of a big hit with, the community, and that gives the people in the community something to do in the wintertime. Also, I think they had there was an issue with the East Main Market. They really didn't have any place to go. It was going to get rained out. Well, the building that I had actually figured was 100 by 200, and which is a large building. It's 20,000 square feet, which would seat somewhere about 2,500 people if you had some type of a concert event or something underneath of it. So that was the first thing that sort of happened. But to get to the point of what's going on is I was contacted one day, and of course they knew that we was looking for it, by the mayor and by a council member. and it was Mayor Miller and Councilman Ventress, and to look at a piece of property on Highway 62. And would the county be interested in going in with us to purchase this property? And I said, absolutely. And to build the farmer's market, that was the initial call. And I said, absolutely, we will be interested. Well, we're here right now. And I said, well, give me a minute, I'm at the office, I'll be right over. In the meantime, while Mayor Miller and Councilman Ventress was there, along with the property owner, a local realtor drove by and had taken pictures of them standing in the parking lot, and pulled in and called the property owner over and said, whatever they're offering you, I will give $25,000 more. And the property owner then stated, they're possibly going to build something here for the community, I'm going to give them first shot at it. That happened before I actually pulled up. Then I think the price might have went up. I'm not for sure on that, but I do know that for a fact because all three of them told me that when I got there to the site. So I pull up, we talk about it, and I hear the price, which was the $300,000 for the property, which is like 3.94 acres. It's on 62, you all knew where it was at. And asked the city officials, so is everybody on board with this? And they said, well, we don't know just yet, but we don't think it'll be a problem because we actually, everybody's wanting the farmer's market. And I said, okay. I said, well, let me get with my magistrates and we'll see, what we can do. And I told the property owner, I said, if you'll give me a little bit, I'll tell you. And he shook my hand and he said, I appreciate it. I appreciate your vision. I appreciate, what you're all trying to do to better the community. And so I left. I called you all, each individually, and told you the situation, told you what was going on. I explained to you that the city was more than likely wanting to partner with us. I at no time did I ever speak with any of the council members other than the mayor and Councilman Ventress. And so we had a special call meeting because I was getting a lot of phone calls at that time that people was urging the property owner to raise the price of the property, and they would give more for the property than what we was actually giving for the property. So in my mind, I thought, and I had mentioned this to you all as well, that somebody's going to end up going in there and saying, I'll give you $400,000 for it, and then turn around and try to charge us $500,000 for it because they knew we was interested in the property. So that's why I called the special call meeting to go ahead and buy the property and get the deed in hand. So that way there was no one could try to buy it out from under us because it's in a great location right on 62 before you get to Walmart.
Agree.
So that was the whole idea and mindset behind that. I didn't hear anything else from any of the council members. From my understanding, they had a special call meeting. You can look back and see the first special call meeting. And from my understanding, I don't think the council was for that. They wanted more information and about what was going to be spent, what was going to be done, what kind of facility was going to be built, who was going to take over it, legitimate questions. And so I was contacted by a council person and said that they think we're pretty sure it's going to go through, but we just need to get a little bit more information. And I said, that's fine. I said, if there's anything that I can do, I completely understand. and we'll go from there. Since, and the reason I'm leading into this is because I went down there and made a presentation the other night and it got voted down. And there's some other issues that I'm gonna address later on that I've done myself, and I'll explain to you. I was under the impression that it was sort of a done deal, and I've got a copy, and I'll give you all a copy of it. After that conversation, and I don't know it was that particular meeting at the special called meeting, the budget committee with the city of Litchfield had a meeting, and which I think it's 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Is that how they do that, Brenda? It's like so. Okay. So they put this purchase of this property in the budget. $150,000 land purchase for farmers market, split 50-50 with the county. $250,000 grant for improvements to farmers market property, which is a total of $400,000. I've got a copy of that budget, and it's highlighted to all of you all. And to show you that I was not having a dream or a nightmare whenever I was told this. So anyway, you can see, and I've got a copy for you all too if you want. So after that meeting, apparently the budget was passed by the budget committee, and then the entire council voted unanimously to pass the budget, which this, as you can clearly see, is in the budget. And I think they had another meeting maybe and discussed this farmer's market and actually tabled it. And news media, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong on something, but I think they had another meeting and actually tabled it, which I understand they were still wanting more information and how much this was going to cost.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I then was asked by the mayor and a council person to get, maybe possibly get some bids together. And I didn't know what size building to do, so I mean, I thought we would do the 100 by 200 size, building. And just to start as a reference point. And I thought all along during that time, I thought, well, what we probably need to do is get a committee together with, if they're gonna do this, with a couple of them, a couple of tourism, and a couple of you all, and make a determination on what we was actually gonna do and how big of the facility, and just let the minds get together and figure out what's best for the community and financially what we could afford. And so anyway, I got a bid. I had the bid on blacktop. I had some other bids along there. Of course, I have them in my office there, which, I mean, I'm not presenting it to you all, so that's a sort of a moot point of, what it's gonna cost. It was $550,000 is what the facility was gonna cost with the concrete, and that's that size building. And one of the council members had asked me, and the mayor said, would you be willing to come down and do this proposal to let them know about, because they had all these questions. And I said, absolutely, I don't care a bit. And with the impression, I thought that that's what they was wanting. That's all they wanted, to see what this was gonna cost, because you all well as know, we're not going to just say, well, we think it's gonna cost this, and just pass it to be passing it to, to go ahead and get something built or done. So I could understand their concerns. And so I took those down there. From my understanding, now there might have been some confusion. I might have confused them. I don't know. I haven't spoke to any of them. I have not spoke to one single council person except one that's talked about this through this whole ordeal. I've not received a call. I've not received a call at my office. I've not received a call on my cell phone. I've not received an email. Nobody's asked me one question off the city council, and other than me proposing it that night, which was Monday night. Mm-hmm. Monday night. So I was under the impression that that's all I really needed to do, and then of course it got I told them what it was gonna cost, and it got voted down, and which, I mean, I was sort of in shock, because, I mean, I was contacted by the city to partner with them, and then, you know, then this happens, and then, of course, I knew it was in the budget to do it, and it was voted down, so I was a little confused, quite honestly. So, I've spoke with the mayor today, and I told him that what we'll probably end up doing is we're gonna look at, and I made mention down there that we wanted to do a farmer's market anyway. We're gonna build it regardless.
Right.
I mean, and I mean, if you all think otherwise, I mean, I don't know that we can do it right now. I think we need to probably research it a little bit and see what we do need and how big of a facility, and then probably form a committee and with the extension office, because they're gonna be a big part of this, because they're the ones that's with the $250,000 grant, matching grant. You know, it's a 50-50 grant. So, you know, we need to make sure and let Whitney be involved in it and see
Right.
what their priorities and what they need and how that needs to be handled. So I was a little taken back by it, because, I mean, I didn't, with me not talking to any of the council, I mean, I have no idea other than what I'm being told. So, and, you know, maybe I should have done my due diligence and went to every one of them, I guess, but I mean, so anyway, that's neither here nor there. I wanted to let everyone know that is exactly what happened with the land purchase. Let you all know what happened with it, and of course, it was voted down. And so, now I'll get to, is there any questions, or have I left anything out that I would need to add to this, to be as transparent as I can with what's going on? And understand, I mean, I've spoken with the mayor, and the mayor wants this to happen, and I think the majority, I think there's some other, I don't know the reasoning behind it, and quite honestly, news media, you'll have to ask them. I'm not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the issues that they're wanting to address, and the only thing I know, this is exactly what I know, and this is all that I can comment on. But I think some of them would like to do it and see it go forward, but I think there's some underlying issues that I can't answer. So I'll leave that at that, and you all can ask them, and we'll go from there. All right, fast forward to that night. Before any of this happened, for the past couple of years, I've been approached by some council members and the mayor and the previous mayor also about the county's contribution to the city for the animal shelter. And of course, you all know, just last year, we had given them $350,000 for possible economic development over on the bypass, for possible hotel, which I understand here over the past couple of weeks, that's getting closer, and they're getting ready to draw permits, so that is coming to pass. So I think it's going to be 62 bed hotel, or 62 room hotel. So we had partnered with them and done that, and which was, you know, somewhat. There's a few people that wasn't that was upset about it, and I can understand why. And but you've got to do things for economic growth, in your community. You've got to give incentives and stuff. So, and if anyone's wanting to put a 100 bed or a 60 bed hotel on 62 on a piece of property that we own now, where the farmer's market was going to be, I would most certainly look at giving them some type of deal too, to build that facility, because that's gonna do nothing but, help the city and the county, with revenue. So, all right, so with that being said, I had got a couple calls about it, and I will say that you shouldn't make decisions, when you're, thinking about things and you're probably, upset over things that's just occurred. And, I had got a couple calls from some city employees and some county employees, and do they not realize what we do for them, what the city's done? And I don't mean to get off point here, but I'm sort of backtracking because I didn't have any of this written down, so I'm trying to go off of memory. But I've been contacted about how much money we're putting in the animal shelter budget, basically. And I said, well, we contribute, quite a few inmates down there, 4 to 5 a day, and actually 2 county employees, and which cleans the facility. And
Todd.
well, that's one of the county employees, is Todd. Todd goes down there, and he helps out with actually getting. He even helps get the animals, if they're in the city of Litchfield. He just don't do the county. I mean, he'll go in the city also. So it's always been. I've always been asked about how much more money we're going to give, how much more money we're going to give, and it just seemed to me like whenever this happened, and I should have thought it through a little bit more, that it was actually a slap in the face of what we contribute, not only there, but to the transfer station. They actually have 16 inmates and several county employees that help the city of Litchfield daily. And so I made a call and said that, look, if they do not want to partner with us, it was a hasty decision, just don't send any inmates down there, and we won't send any jail employees. But after cooler heads prevailed with myself, and that I sent them back down there, they was gone probably 12 to 14 hours. And they went back, spoke with the young lady, the director of the Litchfield Animal Shelter, and told her that Todd would be available at her beck and call, whatever she needed, and that I apologized to her for what had happened, what had transpired, because I mean no one suffers in this except the employees and the community. I mean no one does, and whenever something like this happens, and like I said, I was upset simply because they. I was just shocked that they would not, and I understand they've got questions. I understand that, but you all got to understand too, or I was being told one thing and I had no idea what else was going on behind the scenes. So, and that was the issue, and so I wish them well, and I hope they get everything worked out as far as not only with this project but with future projects, because I'd also told the mayor today that I hope there's many other projects that the county and the city can actually work together on and improve and improve the quality of life for the citizens of Litchfield, and not only Litchfield but Grayson County, Caneyville, and Clarkson. So I wanted to address that, and I know some of you all have heard that, but like I said, I sent everybody back down there. Everything's to business as usual. Also got with the mayor today and told him that we needed to set down a couple of the magistrates, and I don't know that this was possibly miscommunication, not on our part per se, maybe a little, but I think there's been a lot of miscommunication and maybe not enough communication between folks and about what we contribute to the city and what we actually try to do for them. But I wanted to let everyone know that this was under no circumstances a decision of any of the magistrates, the county attorney, the sheriff, nor the jailer, or the clerk, or the treasurer. This was solely on my decision. And I corrected the decision, and I think everything is perfectly fine now with those actual organizations. So, but I wanted everyone also to know exactly what I was being told and why I was assuming that everything was going to be fine with this land purchase. And so I was assuming that we got our legs cut out from under us for working with the city. I mean, I felt like I was, I wouldn't say felt like I was lied to, but I felt like there was no communication, and there was no communication with them, and I wasn't quite getting the communication. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Can you all think of anything else that you'd like to address, or anybody got any comment over?
Don't beat yourself up over it.
Oh, I'm not. I've dealt with it.
You've done a great
It's
job.
been, I got beat up on Facebook, and
And that was
I understand. I'm a big boy.
And that was-
What's that, Norman?
So welcome to my
Well,
world.
Yeah,
that
so-
was totally uncalled for.
But I am transparent as I can be. I will tell everyone anything they need to know. They might not like the answer, but I can promise you it will be the truth. And I want everyone to know is my heart lies with that animal shelter. And 7 years ago, was you on the council when that
No.
happened?
I was not.
I know
on
the mayor
council,
was on the council.
but I know you were involved.
I was, Matt, you was there. I know you was at the city when that happened. I was thrust into, as the chief of police, the animal control officer, and it went under the police department's budget by Mayor Thompson. And I've never done anything like that before. And Jessica Ferris Williams was hired, and we actually built that. She told me what she needed. We got all the stuff together. They've turned it into an outstanding facility. I'm not saying I done it because she done it, but I listened to what her needs were, and she built it into the facility that it is today. She's no longer there. She's moved on to another job, but it is an outstanding facility. And you all go to these magistrate meetings, and I mean, we've talked about it, Ben, that we've got a good animal shelter here.
Yeah.
And because a lot of the other counties, they don't have quite the animal shelter that we have. So that's what I looked at is it was making the employees suffer, and also the community, and we're all bigger than that. We're all bigger than that. So, and regardless of the situation that the city and the county is in, which we're going to work with them. If they need anything, we'll work with them, and I hope they will do the same.
Right.
So, and I really don't want to comment on it further. I gave Matt an actual quote, and I think this will be the end of it. I will not be putting anything on Facebook to address this. If you'd like, it's right here on K105. It'll be recorded, and you can go back and rewind it back and listen to anything. So, other than that, I don't have anything unless anybody else has got something.
Well said.
Nothing? Nothing? Motion to adjourn.
You're
Motion.
human.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Brian. All in favor?
Uh,
Uh,